Today I want to talk with you about one of the two types of individual investors I like to use and have used over the years and still use. This is Rick Jarman, real estate investor in old school. But today we're going to talk about that individual that's going to come in and he's going to be your partner on a deal. Now, if you're going to find partners to work with you on your deals, say you're flipping a house, if you're doing rentals, it's kind of the same thing, but rentals is a long-term partnership, so you got to really be sure that's a road you want to go down. But today we're going to talk about partners that are involved in your house flipping, okay, or building, whatever it might be. Well, first of all, I want to find somebody that's not a strong type A personality like I am. I don't want somebody telling me how to do everything. First of all, you're going to have a long road to hoe, as we say here in the South. Or basically it's going to be a hard day because you're going to have to deal with that person trying to tell you how to do your job. Well, first of all, you need to know what you're doing. So I'm assuming this is nothing new to you. So the kind of partner I'm telling you about, they're the kind of people that if they've got some money they want to invest, they didn't get there by just giving it away to people that didn't know what they were doing. So, and I don't mean this bad in no way, but if you flipped a few houses and you've got some success under your belt, well, you say, how do you find this person? Well, a good source is go to your accountant and say, and if you don't have an accountant, you need to get you an accountant right now. When you go back to work next week, you get you an accountant. So anyway, he's going to see the things you do. He's going to see you've been successful with the deals you've done. He's a good one to use. You can tell him, say, look, I've got some people I'm talking to about doing a partnership on some flipping. Would you talk to them if I tell them to call you and give you permission? And most times they say, sure. Or you set up an appointment and you go down there with him. And you should let him sit down with your accountant. He'll tell you what you did on these houses. That's just one way. And then accountants a lot of time are looking to, spend some money. Now, it's a little different with accountants. Now, my accountant is my nephew and my accountant and business partner in deals. So, and he's a little different, a lot of accountants, boy, I call them bean counters. It can be you do a deal with them, boy, every time something goes a little bit over or something, you'd think they're having a heart attack. But that's just the nature of the beast. So it's good to find people. You've got lawyers that don't have the time to do a lot of other stuff. They're always looking to make more money. You've got doctors especially. Everybody's got a doctor. Next time you go to get an appointment to visit your doctor, throw some business in there. Let them know what you're doing. They want to make money, but not only that, the reason doctors are good partners, their job, just think about it, every day you went to work and everybody's complaining, oh, this hurts, that hurts, I hurt back here. They like the excitement of real estate. Now, they like to be on the line involved, most of them. That way they can tell their friends, their doctors, but man, me and this guy over here, we flipped this house, we made X amount of dollars, man, it was fun. And they like that. So that's your 2 or 3 ways you might can find partners. But like I said, you've got to bring something to the table. Don't think you're going to go out here and you hadn't even flipped a house and you're going to get somebody to go in on the dotted line with you to borrow money, because that's the type of partner I'm talking about today. The kind that you go in together, and if you think it's going to be a good partner, you form an LLC, you borrow the money together, but you know what you do? You let that partner put up the money for the repairs. You go find that house you're going to buy, you present it to him, say, look, it's a good deal, we can make some money on this. You have an estimate worked up showing him. You can't just tell him what you think you're going to do on it. You need to sit down with him and show him and say, so we'll make some money here. He'll be all over that deal. So now here's how I like to structure those type partners. We form an LLC. We do it together. I signed the dotted line, they signed the dotted line. But the deal is, you hear that word passive a lot. This is when you want passive partners. You don't want them telling you how to do your job if you know how to do it. Now, if you get somebody that knows it all, and hell, you think you know it all, that ain't gonna work. So you want somebody that wants you to do what you do and let them do what they do. And that's bring the money to the table. And the way I do it, if we've got a job going and they're putting up the money, I've given him a budget, and I tell him, I said, now this could go over, it could be under, it's not rocket scientist work. When you remodeling houses, you don't know what you're gonna get into sometimes. You got a good idea, but there's always unforeseen. So what you do with this partner, he comes in, say you bought a house and it's gonna take $30,000 remodeling. I mean, he covers all the money. You find the deal. If they want $10,000 down, he puts the $10,000 down. If it's $3,000 closing costs, he pays $3,000. If it's $30,000 repairs, he pays it. But at the end, the way I do it, not only does he make interest on all this money he put up, we pay interest to him or them, he or she, whoever. Yeah, excuse me there. We pay interest to them just like we do the bank. If the bank's charging you 6 1/4 on a commercial loan, he's gonna make 6 1/4 on his money. You and him as the LSC, that's, think of it as an individual. I like to say that's a living, breathing entity. And you and him are that entity. And you're gonna pay him, the doctor or the lawyer or the chiropractor or whatever you're working with, pay them interest on all the money they have put into the deal. From the time, but now you pay that interest at the end when the property sells. So he knows that going into it. Look, when it sells, first thing we do is pay the loan off at the closing, pay for everything, and we're gonna write you a check out of the profits for your interest on your money, and we pay your money back. He's part of the company that's borrowing the money. So he's not worried about getting beat because he is part of the people that's being loaned the money to, or the entity. So that house sells, say it was on the market for 2 months, he's put up $30,000, say maybe put up $2,000 closing, that's $32,000. You're gonna pay him 6 1/4% interest on his money for 2 months, and you pay everything off, all the bills, everything. And then what's left, you split 50-50. Now, if that money of his had been sitting in the bank, and you don't care if he borrows the money, you don't care where he gets the money. That's up to him. As long as he knows he's providing the money to the LLC. Now, here's the deal. If he's got that money sitting in the bank, we've talked about this before, he might be getting 1 1/4%, whatever it is, and he's gonna make 6 1/4, whatever the bank's charging on that money. Plus, he gets half the profit. That's a good deal, but it's a good deal for you too, because you can only do so many deals, and you don't have to worry about having the money to have to do all this. You've got a partner that's brought in the borrowing power with you. He's brought in the cash to do the job, the deal, and he carries the note by to it sells. I mean, every week when you do work and you turn in your receipts to him, and that's the way I recommend doing it, because, but you'll have a checkbook and everything for the LLC, but you turn in the receipts to him, say, it's what we're gonna need this week. He's gonna write a check. Same thing next week. You're not having to come up with anything but your talent. So you've got to bring that to the table. But you've got to be willing to step up and fill them shoes. You've got to know your stuff, because he's putting his money up based on your talent. And there again, that's where go on and show him, those saying liars can number, but numbers don't lie. I love to say that, you'll hear it a lot. But when you take him down to your accountant, and your accountant shows him you've made some money on some houses. Now, it may not come to that. You may know this person. It could be a family person. But people that have money are always wanting to make more money with their money than it just sitting in the bank. The sooner you learn that, the quicker you can grow your business. And it's, and I don't even, you want to be straight up about everything. And that's why I've dealt with lawyers and accountants as partners all these years, and appraisers. Appraisers make good partners. But like I said, whoever that person is, I don't care if it's Uncle Joe, whoever, you make sure they understand they just bringing the money. You're bringing the talent to do the deal. Because if you don't, that could be a miserable 2 or 3 months when you're dealing with them. So that's one method of doing it. I've had people I did business with like that one partner I had, we started doing business together in 1987. We actually had a real estate company together. And he went into appraisal full time, and I was into the building more and flipping. We built houses together, we flipped houses, but he didn't like rental. Well, that was fine. He wanted to make that money, get his money, put it in the bank for the next deal. I like that because, I'm building houses, I'm flipping houses. I've got other partners. Y'all remember me telling y'all about the book about Trammell Crow. He dealt with a lot of partners like that. That's where I've got to learn about that. He he dealt with partners, and by dealing with them partners, and they're not related, nobody knows what the other deal's going on. That's your business, because you're doing that. You're bringing that to the table. Like I said, people that have money are looking to make more money. So if you're straight up and you've got a reputation for doing what you do and doing it good, you will find some partners. Now that's the type partners you want, that they just want to make their money, let you do your thing. Well, today that's the partner we're talking about. They're going to be on the note. They're going to be your partner. They're a full-fledged partner. You set your LLC up, like I said, you buy it you buy the house in that LLC. They understand that what they're bringing to the table. You understand what you're doing. And, you can write it all up if you want to, if you don't, but you want to know these people if you can, because it's not only they got to trust you, you have to trust them, because you don't want to have a deal going and you need $5,000 to pay the bills this month, and he says, I don't have any more money. Wait a minute now, the deal was you bringing this money and I'm doing this. Now, if I got to put the money up, I don't need you. I have that all the time. I'll have people say, man, we need to flip a house together. And I'm thinking, okay, 1, you can't borrow no money. 2, you ain't got no credit. 3, you don't know what's going on flipping houses. And 4, you ain't got a clue. And you want me to bring you in and give you half my money I'm going to make? What are you bringing to the table? It's like going to a dance without a date. It's crazy. But there's people like that. But you don't need them kind. You want the kind that's got some money, that wants to make more money, and they believe in you. You find that partner, you got you a good partner. That's the type we talk about today. I got a couple more of them we're going to talk about later. But today it's the partner that brings the money. He's on the note. You have the LLC together, and you plan to do more business with him. Now, you reach a point it ain't working. You have a buy-sell agreement, or you just have a written agreement saying if it quits working, we shut this baby down and we done. It's as simple as that. So anyway, Rick Jarman, Real Estate Investing Old School. I hope you find this helpful. We'll talk with you later.